good evening, everyone. For those of you that do not know who I am Rosa, Miss Diva. I sing, I act, I model, I dance, I do all of that. I'm here to be an inspiration. If you have any questions, to give you a little bit of a history about my life, what I went through, why I wanted to be a singer, why I'm where I'm at today, and how serious you should take your career. You know, you have to respect it. You have to master it, learn it, own it, and serve it. And I want to start off with, I've always wanted to be a singer as a child. Being the middle child, one of 8, it was hard for my mom, you know, Spanish, raised in Newark, born in Perth Amboy, but I consider Newark my hometown. It was hard for her. You know, we have more tools and outlets today. There's no excuse, I can't do it. And you have to put it in the air. You know, you have to speak it into existence. And it's not easy, but you have to surround yourself around people that really want it. Okay, so for me, growing up humbly, I say, being a pretty girl, you know, it was either, you know, the men do what they say to make it, and I refused not to do that. You know, I didn't want to do that. I said no. So it was hard for me. But everything really started for me when I was in high school, Barringer High School in Newark, New Jersey. Miss Antoinette Baskerville, which is Antoinette Baskerville Richardson now, and she's retired. She was my drama class teacher. I was in drama, chorus, debating team. I was in all the fashion shows. I was, you know, I was singing in all the, I have to say my sisters, Black American girls, always came to support me because they said, that girl can sing, honey, you sure you ain't black? So I had a soulful voice. Yes. So I was always there singing, and that's where my career started. And then I met a young man, which Salimah might know him, Mr. Billy Jones. He taught me so much. He taught me so much. May he rest in peace. And he taught
was a model as well.
Exactly. He was on the Cognac.
Page.
The Cognac, right? It was the
front page of Ebony, front page of Jet, with all the pretty girls hanging around him. Did Seagram 7.
There you go.
Advertisements. Yes,
there you go.
That was back in the 70s.
There you go.
And right there in Warrenton Place in East
Okay. And so he introduced me to Essence. I was in the fashion show. He introduced me to going to John Casablanca's modeling school. At the time, that was one of the great schools besides Wilhelmina, Ford's, and Elite. You can go to them as a model and they'll turn you down, but then a month later, you're good for them. That's the kind of field you're getting into as far as modeling, you know, and there's dime a dozen beautiful faces in the entertainment. So you have to be really careful. That's when my career started, and I got a lot of experience, and I learned a lot with Billy Jones. By going to John Casablanca's, I learned how to, you know, pose in front of the camera. They teach you how to walk, the basics of modeling, all of these things. They did photography, how to look at the camera, you know, and then they look for your own style of walk, like the Naomi Campbells and the Tyra Banks. Glass House Production, BAM Production, which stands for Beautiful American Model. He had Faces from Heaven, Cover Kids. And one day we sat at the table, and I never forget. I said, how about me doing my own show? And they were all for it because they said, we couldn't wait. It's about time, Rosa. And I started my empire, Divas Production. I am the founder and producer of Divas Production, where I give model competitions. Okay, so I train little girls, and I train them all the way till, you know, whatever age. I teach them etiquette. I teach them the basics of modeling. All of those things are good, whether you want to be a model, singer, whatever, you know, a designer, because it builds your self-esteem. So for today, that's basically what I'm sharing, and I have little notes, you know, so that I can stay on point with what I wanted to talk to you about. I did this like last minute. Also, when you become a designer or a seamstress, you can also, you know, once you reach a certain level, it's all about someone manufacturing your stuff. That doesn't take away from you. As long as you learn how to design, sketch, you're a designer. You know, now you can be the Tommy Hills, you know, and they have people making all of their stuff, you know, the manufacturers. That's what you got to look at if you really want to get into this career, making your own stuff, selling your own garments, creating your own style, giving fashion shows, you know, showcasing your collection. That's what this is about. I did photo shoots. I still do them for my personal fashion shows. I'm hoping to do a show next year because Symphony Hall Terrace Ballroom opened back up. They kind of like renovated, you know, and it's really nice. And I heard the Marquise.
Terrace Ballroom too?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
the Terrace
they're
Ballroom.
doing the renovations with that one too, right?
They did, and then you know the color that it was. I call it like Tiffany, but it's not exactly Tiffany.
Right.
It's a little bit lighter, but they kind of touched it up, and it looks brighter. They touched up the bathroom. The Marquise, I heard, is coming back within a year.
Good.
You can get sponsors if you have a 501c. Is it a 501c3? I always say it backwards. With that, you get sponsors, and then they get to write it off. I personally have an EIN number that you can just get in one day from the IRS, which is your employee identification number. But you have to pay taxes on it. So if you don't do a show, you claim zero. If you do a show, everything that you spend. That's how I do it, and I separate it from my social. Because if somebody comes after you, and you don't have no money in the Divas production, you get nothing. But not your personal, because then they can get you. So I'm just talking about a lot of different things to give you ideas and what it's all about, where you can go with it. You know what I'm saying? But be inspired by it. You know, it's designing. It's an art. It's an art. Always remember that. It's what you create.
I love designing. You're right. Design is a beautiful art.
It is, and it's
Especially when you know who you are and your taste. You have to bring that out.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to bring
Selena's
out.
got one of a kind stuff. You ain't gonna find that nowhere.
Absolutely. And that's what makes her different from all the rest.
Absolutely,
When
yeah.
you go, who was the young lady, Miss that one from your school at
Candy?
Candy.
Yes.
Candy. I mean, she did her thing. You know, she did her. Even Salimah was sitting there like, no, she didn't. Oh, she being grown. You better go ahead, Candy. You know, it was so funny because I was sitting behind her, and she was very proud of her. You know. What is your question?
How did you grow up to be a singer?
How did? Oh, okay. Okay, very good question. Growing up, I just loved music because my mom, and I can't believe it. I mean, a woman from Puerto Rico that was not born here in America. Loved good music, the Marvin Gayes and all of. I mean, my mother used to always dance to the best songs, and I think about it today. I'm like, wow, mommy had a soul. So I knew I wanted to sing when I used to always listen to good music, and I used to take the brush and put a towel over my hair. I think every child thinks they're a singer with long hair, and I had long hair, but I had a towel, and that's when I knew I wanted to sing. And at the age of 13, I was singing at Branch Brook Park. I just knew I was going to be a singer because the music touched my soul. It made me feel so good, and I was always singing, and I was a natural. And my mother said, wow, Rosa can sing, you know? And that's when I knew that I could sing, when I was singing to the songs, when I knew that I was getting into it. I said, wow. And then I started joining competitions, and I had an entourage, and they supported me. They're like, this Spanish girl can sing. She's going to shut it down. I remember I went to NJIT. One of my girlfriends, her name is Hawaiian, and she said, I want you to go to NJIT and shut it down because, you know, there's some girls there. So I came and I sang Mariah Carey, Vision of Love, a cappella. And I won. I can't remember if I got first place or second place, but I won, and it was very nice. So that's how I knew I wanted to sing as a child, very young, listening to music, and it just made me feel good. And I said, I want to sing. You know, I'm still hoping and praying that maybe.
Well, Whitney, did you cross her path when you were singing anymore?
Actually, I was in the studio with Ted Mills from Blue Magic, and he told me that if Whitney would have heard me sing at that time, she would have took her hat off. But Whitney, I knew Sissy. But I had a wonderful experience. I was ready to sing a gospel, a slow jam, a R&B. I came prepared. I had my look with my rose. I'm like a Billie Holiday Spanish style. I like that.
I was Billie Holiday down and Diana Ross and
I love Diana Ross too.
It was my ninth grade talent show.
Okay.
Scott.
Okay.
We got a question. We got two other singers in here.
I did Lewis Time and I did
More like
Diana Ross.
Greg can sing.
Got 2 singles in here. Yeah, good morning, Heartache. And I had an orange and yellow rose, and I had a pair
No, he isn't.
No.
white and brown polka dot
Uh-huh.
He's
from Aerosmith,
Oh, yes, yes, I
the
remember.
platform.
Mm-hmm.
A little, like, what's it, polka dot. I did it.
And it's a nice memory.
I still had the fashion show program.
Oh wow! I still have programs from Hal Jackson. I was also a Hal Jackson girl. Anytime I do a fashion show, they get training for 3 months. So I teach them everything. So that's how I market it. You know, I just give out flyers, word of mouth. I'm doing a fashion show, but I never did it to that, you know, to that magnitude. I mean, I've been doing Divas production over 30 years, and I didn't do 30 shows, but I've been active and I've done enough shows. You know, but that's the only way I market it. I mean, I know that I should do social media, but I'm really not interested in that. I have done well for myself, word of mouth. You know, even though that will help me with promoting my business and stuff like that. But my business is more personal to me, but I share it with the world. And whenever they come to me, like Salimah, she said, "Can you do a talk? Can you do a presentation?" So I said, okay, I'll do it. You know,
We appreciate it.
You know,
Thank you.
thank you so much, and I appreciate that you know, that you're here listening, receiving it well. I hope that you have been inspired, you know, and you share it. I try to talk a little bit about everything that I know because I don't know when will be the next time. But if there's any specifics, you know, and Salimah needs me to come back, I will talk. You know, I will speak. And you know, share again. First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I can never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back, come on now, from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. Should've changed that stupid lock, I should've made you leave your keys. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to follow me. Girl, now go!
Yes.
Walk out the door. Just turn around now, cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with your body? You think I crumble? You think I lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive. For as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live, and I got so much love to give, and I survive. I will survive. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Come on, Salimah. Write your name across the skies. Anything you have to try. Oh, bet you by golly while you're the one that I've been waiting for forever. And ever will my love for you keep growing strong. Oh, keep growing strong. And excuse my voice because I know it went a little bit, because I, just got over a cold. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I just got over a cold and I knew I said, oh, there we go. But I wanted you to hear the song. You wanted to hear the song.
Yes, thank you so
But
much.
I promise you I will sing that again in my better days. Oh, you still have a question then. You
got more questions than me.
Go ahead, say a question.
Are you scared to sing in big clubs?
I always get a little nervous. I think every artist does because they care about how they sound. And you don't know who Barbra Streisand is, but Barbra Streisand is known for that. They have to prepare her because she gets very nervous. Mariah Carey didn't perform until a year after Vision of Love because she was nervous too. And that one, I heard that about her. But yes, that's common, and I do get nervous. But I don't have a problem because when I get on stage, I shut it down. I start feeling it.
yeah.
Thank you,
I know that's
Salimah, for
right.
having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a nice treat. This is one of our best speakers. Already, yes.
Thank you. Thank
For
you
the
so
end
much.
of 2023.
2023, yes.
Yes.